Okay, sorry about that interruption. When you come through doing the skin tones the other way, once you've kind of taken this approach, then you kind of let the skin tones cross over the other way, just slightly. And by going back and forth between the background and the skin tones and layering up your colors, you end up with a very diffused image. And it just kind of works for me. But let's see where I've laid this in and brushed it. It's changed the texture right here, but it tends to again add depth by having this kind of more solid laid background in certain areas. And if you're into shading, very specific shading in terms of around your images, or trying to create depth with shades, then you can certainly experiment with these kind of really brush it in technique, and then a lighter, more open flowing technique around it to create whatever shades you want. I have not spent too much effort into that, although I understand that is freaking art 101. But I'm sure I get shading results because of this technique, but it's not really my intent to build specific shades or anything into it. I just kind of have the que sera approach. What will be, and it works for me. So again, I just keep randomly picking up the colors and placing them. Always being aware that I can sure layer it up as they dry and cover over. Although I don't really find much cause to do that, I do it kind of inadvertently or subconsciously, or whatever you want to call it. Now here, again, I have a grid, so I find myself just doing something different in the grid. And I'm telling you what, if you do one thing like this, and I mean almost any little thing, and then you change that paintbrush, you can't hardly hide it. Once you change colors or change quantities of paint or something on a certain line, it becomes a permanent part of that painting. So again, it's a technique for hiding lines, and don't really have a specific result in mind, and then sometimes I change sides of the line for whatever reason. I don't give it a lot of thought, I just freaking do it. Excuse my childish slang again. Sometimes I mop it on, sometimes I take a lot of time with it, but at this stage of the painting, it's mostly just get some paint on the canvas and go from there. So yeah, that's it. And I don't know how much of this I'll film, but I'm going to take a break.